Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, D Palm. Follow me on Blue Sky. Follow me on Instagram. All the social medias at DPalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR network at, you guess it, the MTR network. You found us, don't you lose us. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe every get your podcast for $3.99. Also, subscribe on YouTube. That's right. This thing's on YouTube now. I know. I'm dragging this podcast in 2015, one episode at a time. Do me a huge favor, slide on over there, hit the subscribe button. I don't know what it does, but I think it's good. As always, brought to you by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Make sure you check out my other podcasting venture with my real estate partner, LaCrest Amaro, Life, Love, and Real Estate. A new episode dropping on Wednesday. Check it out on Spotify and Apple and YouTube as well. If you're in the Atlanta area and you want to see me be an idiot on a stage, December 16th, follow me on social. Links are in bio, but I'm doing stand-up class and stand-up set that night at the Punchline. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it. But you're not here to listen to me talk about comedy. You're here to talk about sports. That's why we got Andrew Hammond. What up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Let me get my mic on. There we go. Yeah, we've had a couple of malfunctions in my universe over the last 24, 36 hours. I don't know. Things are happening.
That is, I like anyone who can start us with an understatement. First of all, it's your first time being here, so make sure everyone knows who you are. You're for AL.com. He's a 20-year veteran of the sports beat. He is one of the few real journalists who's still doing it for a living today. And I jokingly said this in the pre-show that he's the Notre Dame sub-minister of propaganda. I just say that because I feel like all of you who have propagated the media, who've like spread yourselves out where I can't not hear a Notre Dame opinion on an airwave. I think that is just kind of like the title that's fallen to
Fair.
the group of people that's like, I love Jessica Smetana and I love Golick. I will
Yeah.
never listen to the Echoes.
Okay, it's a good podcast. Okay, first off, it's not that bad. And
No, I don't know
can
what
we
that
just
even
have the
is.
conversation about
It's
the
just
Notre Dameification of the media? Go on. But no, let's go. Let's
That's
go
how I
on.
like to have my first time guest. It's a little bit antagonistic. I'm excited. This is going to be good. This is going to be a great time. But no, man, you said things have been weird on the ground. We're going to talk about the results, but tell us what the ground is for you. Kind of what is it like covering this team in this state on the heels of that guy?
You know, being from Kansas, originally born and raised in Wichita, Kansas. So for me, I'm used to K-State basketball or K-State football
Right.
and KU basketball. Obviously, Bill Snyder,
That's,
legend in the game. KU basketball, you got Roy Williams, got Bill Self.
yeah.
So coming to Alabama, and here's the thing. In my previous stops, for those who don't know, I've been in Washington State and I've also been in the state of Michigan. So I'm used to big programs,
Of course.
Washington football, Michigan football. So coming to Alabama, based out of Birmingham, when they say it just means more, I will tell you the first conversation I had with somebody, my first event covering for AL.com was the SEC baseball tournament.
Oh, okay.
Moved in May, and so the first conversation I have with like one of the security guards that's just kind of chilling, I'm gonna say not in the press box, but he's kind of like on the concourse
Yeah.
of the luxury boxes,
Yeah.
and so
He's got the good posting.
yeah, he's just chilling. And so, I'm standing, I'm waiting for somebody. And so he's like, "Oh, you're the new sports editor at AL.com." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Oh, well, pleasure to finally meet you. Which one?" And I'm like, which one? And then I realized, oh,
Yeah.
he wants to know Alabama or Auburn.
Immediately.
My answer, like I give to everybody, clean copy. That's what I root for. Clean copy and
That's a
meet
good cop
deadlines.
out editor answer. That's a good editor answer.
That, and I've taken, been in this for 20 years now, which is wild.
Yeah.
I've taken fandom out of like every team I root for. If they win, cool. If not, I just
So
I don't
So
care.
I played in college, and
Yeah,
I was an agent afterwards. I played in college, and so I have a
gotcha.
different outlook in the way I look at the sport. Like,
Yeah.
number one, I cheer for is for the kids. I want the kids to get as
Oh
much as
yeah.
they can of the experience. And so my wife makes fun of me because I'm like, I'm not a Georgia fan. I'm a Georgia supporter. I'm cheering for the Dogs, but I'm also the
Right.
guy who, when they hired Brian Schottenheimer as the OC, I spent there. We had a podcast at the time, so you can listen to me over the course of 3 months lie
Yeah.
to myself in the preseason
Oh
about how I felt
no.
about it, and then game one, you just see me turn on a dime, and be like, "This piece of shit team! I can't believe they hired this man." Like, it was like that's the thing about like a true SEC fandom is no one hates your team more than you do.
Oh, that's just if you were not a fan, if you are not finding a way to hate yourself at any point in the season, if you do not hate yourself at any point in the season. So here's the thing. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that whole JJ McCarthy thing.
I really told you also about this one though.
So here's the thing. When he's making that drive against Alabama, in my head, I'm thinking two things. Okay, if they win this game, because I was down like 5 rows up in the Alabama section,
Yeah,
I'm ready to pass out stunt copy, the stuff that people
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pick. So I'm ready to do that. I'm also thinking if Alabama loses this game, I have to sprint back to the press
Gotta get out of here.
box
Gotta go.
and I got to dump all this stunt copy. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking like two things at the same time. The third one is the Minnesota Vikings are going to be convinced JJ McCarthy is going to be the guy off this drive. Oh, and guess what? Door number 3 presented us with 9. I'm not having fun right now.
To be fair, being on the college football beat, you knew immediately when they drafted him what the truth was. Like, you knew.
Yep.
And so at least you're not as surprised as people who seem to work for the team are being.
I'm telling you, man, like I've never worked in a pro football capacity
Right.
outside of, hey, stringing for, the AP. I generally wonder what NFL teams are thinking sometimes.
It's sometimes, in my experience,
Hmm.
it is a disconnect between your scouting department and your front office.
That's fair.
They don't trust the scouts as much as they should sometimes.
Hmm.
And they go through the word of mouth of like, well, Bill knows Nick, and that's how, and like, that's how a lot of guys ended up with the Patriots, is Nick
Right.
would make a call. But that's so much of that.
Mm.
There's so much connected of who you know. One of my first client that ever got drafted, he was a 7th-round draft pick, the Washington then Redskins,
Mm.
and he got the gig because Keenan McCardell had coached him at the Senior Bowl and had loved his work, and that's how he got the. And Keenan McCardell was the receivers coach and said, "You got one pick. Who you want?"
Oh wow.
And he
Hey,
took
hey,
Terrence Austin out of UCLA,
there you go.
their first client ever put in the league. And so, like, for me, like, I understand that, like, the scouts are probably watching some of the stuff we're watching and being
Yeah.
like, but no, you can't, because no, they weren't no, they were hiding this man actively
Yeah.
for an entire football season.
Yeah, there were. So I was actually, that was my first year in Alabama. So I had
Okay.
been in Michigan before
Oh
that.
wow.
I'd seen what JJ McCarthy had done. I had seen what Cade McNamara had done.
He
And
killed Dr. Bo, man. Like, John Harbaugh killed fun quarterbacks. Like, that was his job. If you're a fun quarterback, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill your
yeah,
spirit.
and it's funny because they played Nebraska one year, and I want to say they didn't pass the ball like I want to say it was the second half
Yeah,
against
it was the
Nebraska. It
second
was
half
on
of
the
Nebraska
road,
game. I
and they
remember.
didn't pass the ball. The ball didn't go in the air, and we're all sitting here like I'm having to hear this whole thing about, oh, Michigan found something. They found a running game, and I'm also like, part of me is like, that's right. However, have you seen their quarterbacks?
it's wild. The one title has done so much revisionist history for Harbaugh's time there. Like people forget that he was almost fired before the COVID year. He had
If
to
he
restructure his deal and fire coordinators.
if he coaches 2020, if there's no COVID year and he
He's
coaches
fired.
2020, he's fired.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
and
crazy.
I think even if they played Ohio State in that COVID year,
Yeah,
I think you have to pull the trigger. Like,
it saved his job. It saved his legacy there. Honestly,
it really did because I mean he could have been Brady Hoke, and then that's no slide against Brady Hoke because people forget again revisionist history.
of course.
Brady Hoke won a Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
Like,
Back when those things mattered, kids. Well, we'll get into the whole thing. Let's talk
yeah,
here on this podcast. We start with the winners, and when I say winners, I mean how about them dogs, brother? How about them dogs? How about them dogs? Fun stat: the Falcons and Georgia have both won twice in the bins this season.
class has a question. Um, which team plays their home games primarily in Gotcha. Okay.
That would be the Falcons. Yeah, that's our state shame. It is the professional football team.
It I respect Falcons fans because I'm just like
No,
y'all have been there, and I respect people who willingly know what they're getting into.
I walked away. The day I quit being a Falcons fan was the day the reports came out they were chasing Deshaun Watson, and
Oh
they
no.
had cut Matt Ryan. I was like, wait a second, you're gonna go after this nasty man with no plan?
This was like when we first found out he was a nasty man.
Yeah,
Oh
like it was all like emerging
no.
information, and so for me, it was like I don't need. At this point, Georgia's won 2 national titles. My
Yeah.
Saturdays are going fantastic. Why would I let these losers ruin my Sundays? And so I'm like, this, I can just, so now I'm just a fan of the Shield. I love
Yeah.
good football. I love smart football. And with 32 teams, it's easier to find it in those pockets. And so I've never been happier as a professional football fan putting down the Falcons and walking away. Brother, I have been through I've been through the Broncos Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I've been through
By the way,
everything.
you're welcome for that. You're welcome for getting there.
It's just part of it's a shared legacy, it's a legacy of pain.
Yes.
Um, I've been through everything I know about Jamal Anderson that I won't say on the air. Um, I've been through my quarterback fighting dogs. I've been
Yeah.
through Bobby Petrino. I've been through
I forgot he was there.
27-3. I've been through Joey Harrington, Andrew. I've been
Okay,
through
okay.
27 and
We
3.
will leave. We will leave Joey
Done.
Harrington alone. I legitimately
Done.
feel bad about Joey Harrington.
I don't. He
He
ruined the
he went to
season
the
for the Lions
Lions,
for me.
and then it was like, hey, you got to step into a situation where you got to replace a popular quarterback. Oh, where the Atlanta Falcons? Oh
Do
no!
you remember that Joey Harrington had billboards when he was trying to get the Heisman?
Look, we talk about high like I have a theory I will tell you off air
Excellent.
involving that Heisman year, but yeah, I
Well,
was a I was a stupid child at the time, so I'm like Joey Harrington, yeah, and this was what I could be able to watch West Coast games
yeah.
in a Central Time Zone, which is God's time zone, by the way. And I'm like, oh man, Joey Harrington, he's awesome, leading all these comebacks. He goes to the NFL, you're like, oh no, this
Oh
is not
no.
good. This is not good. By the way, shout out to Joey Harrington, NCAA 2003 cover boy. Good on you, sir.
He should have gotten paid. I'm sure, I got my compensation check. I'm sure he got one too. Um, so Georgia doesn't just so like as a Georgia fan.
Yeah.
So I was in the building when they lost that game in overtime in the national title game to Alabama.
Mhm.
I was with my father. It was horrible. Um, I famously had people over at my house the Bama night game when they won the black.
Oh
I kicked
no.
everyone out of my house in the first quarter.
Attaboy.
Y'all need to leave.
I respect
Y'all
it.
get the fuck out of my house, man. Just y'all need to go.
Yeah.
So beating Alabama means a lot to me. Like
Oh,
I'm
for sure.
really glad to beat Alabama, but to beat Alabama, have them generating -3 yards rushing.
The moment I knew the game was over, you watch a game, and we've watched sports long enough to
Yeah.
know there's always a moment where, and it's not the obvious moment.
No.
It's it's a subtle moment that you think, oh, okay. There were two actually. One's more obvious than the other. Georgia blocks the punt
Yes.
and then scores immediately after. That's when I knew, oh, this is going to be a long day. Like you just had a
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
it's going to be a long day. The second one, and this is the more obvious one, when Ty Simpson takes that sack with a guy maybe 4 yards in front of him, and I see this, I see him pull out, and then I see him pull up, and I'm like, oh no, he's not gonna, and he did. I
Yep.
was like,
You know what the
yeah,
moment
you
was for
might
me?
want to
You know what the
pack
moment
in.
was for me?
Yeah.
It was the punt by Georgia to end the beginning into the first half when Bama had the ball for like 8 seconds, took a knee.
Oh yeah.
Because it was at that moment that I looked down and realized that Georgia had doubled the time of possession.
Yeah.
And say what you will about everything that happened on Saturday. Say, Kalen DeBoer, hey man, it's a very smart man with a very interesting offense who, when it's running well, is very hard to stop. However, you can have all the computers in the world, but if I attack you with a sledgehammer, your computers
Thank
aren't
you.
worth shit. And that's what Georgia does. It's a very sledgehammer football team. As a lineman, a team of my heart.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: it was wild because in that moment, I turned to my friend. First of all, I don't watch Georgia games in public ever.
I get it.
But this is the first one. This is the first one I'll see. I usually watch one or two in public all season. This is the one I chose. Watched with my friends at a fantastic little bar here in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I turned to my buddy. I said, "Well, this game's over." He says, "So 14. You never know." I go, "Oh, I know," because their biggest problem is the fact that their offense cannot stay on the field long enough for the defense to catch their breath.
Yep. And
And
that's what
them boys are
happened.
about to be tired because guess what? You're gonna run them side to side actions, them outside zones, and all of a sudden, hey, north south seems really really fun. What if we just hit you in the mouth a bunch?
Yeah. Also, when you don't have a running game, especially against Georgia,
Yeah,
like that's what makes, as a Notre Dame fan, that's what makes the Georgia game from last year so like, did they really win that? Because they used Riley Leonard, which no shame to Riley Leonard.
right.
But when we talk about sledgehammers, he's not a he's not the craftsman sledgehammer.
No.
He's like the rubber sledgehammer that you use where it's like, oh, I need to do some indoor work,
Hey,
but I don't want to do too much damage.
for the record, that's Indianapolis Colts starting quarterback Ryan Leonard to you.
With Philip Rivers also getting a
Philip Rivers
call.
hates his family.
Dude, he's
I
got
can
so
prove
many
it.
kids. To be fair, that man has probably needed to shop for Christmas and needs money for Christmas gifts. So I get it.
No, I don't get it because I guarantee every time because he coaches a high school team.
Yeah.
So the
Down in
second that
Alabama.
high school
Yeah.
season ends, I guarantee he's like, "Hey man, get on the phone. Who needs me? Who needs me? Come on, man. Someone needs me." He's down in Mobile, Alabama, making them phone calls.
Oh man, but
I
yeah,
think let's talk about
Georgia.
Georgia for a split second here because like one of the things that was really impressive for me, we talked about it with Felder last week, was
Yeah.
watching this linebacking core evolve through the season.
Yes.
And one of the things that I was impressed with from Bama throughout the season was that it was a very dramatic shift from what was to what is now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought after that FSU kind of debacle, the program bought in.
Yes.
This stepdad's not doing the same thing as old dad did, but it's still these new things might work. Like it feels like there was a real lot of buy-in. And yes, you talk about the physicality, which again, that's an SEC thing. You don't know it until you watch. And people are like, "Oh, you think it's hard playing against Arkansas?" Yeah, motherfucker. Yes, yes. These are big, strong, like hard to. Yes, most of the guys on your team are going pro in something else, and it's probably like accounting or shit. These motherfuckers are going into bricklaying. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they hit so hard every time. Like, the fact that they're adding a ninth league game next year. Like,
Man,
this was their ninth league game, the
yeah.
SEC title game, and Bama was beat to shit.
And think about this. I think like we talk about Texas. We talk about how, Texas, they have a resume that could get you into the playoff. And to be fair, it some years it would.
Yeah.
But you think about the Oklahoma game. They beat Oklahoma. That's always going to be this massive showdown.
Yeah.
Where do they go that next week? They got to go to Kentucky. And before the season,
Kentucky game?
Yeah, that was a night Kentucky.
Ugh.
That was a night game at Kentucky. It's cold. Like, it's maybe 80% full.
And it's probably haunted. Let's just also be very honest about Kentucky.
We got to talk about some of these stadiums at night that it's like you may win the game, but you are going to hate yourself afterwards. Kentucky is a place like that because, like, when Auburn played there last year, I'm talking to one of my writers, and we talked about, like, what are some of the best places and where are some of the worst places. He said Kentucky at night because both teams sucked. Just like this year, both teams sucked. It's like 40 degrees out there. Nobody wants to actually be there. And you're just like, hey, man, I just need to make it through the night. I just need to make it through the night.
I gotta get the morning. Gotta get the sunrise.
But for Texas, you got to go from the most intense atmosphere to a cold, rainy place where you have to be on your shit if you're going to have a chance to win a game. And guess what? You end up going to overtime.
Yeah.
Like,
because weird shit happens in the SEC, man. Because all of a sudden, Vanderbilt's a fucking problem.
Which is weird. I'm still trying to get used to, like, every 5 or 6 years, Vandy wants to win 7 games. Cool.
Adorable.
Fine.
Adorable even.
But yeah, but now it's like, oh, the fact that Clark Lee is putting out a statement of, well, we didn't get the job done. We didn't go to the playoff. First off, Clark, love you, dog. Miss you, but you weren't going to get in.
First of all, you got the job done. Stop.
Yeah, like you don't have to be the teacher. You don't have to be teacher. Are you going to collect the homework? You don't have to be that guy, Clark.
Well, that's a larger, and we're going to get back to the Georgia game in a second, but that's a larger structural problem with college football now is that they've created this zero-sum game where the only thing that matters is the playoff. And we're going to talk about later on kind of what this all means because you're rooting. I do want to ask about, like, what's the atmosphere on the ground in Alabama after that loss? Is it one like, hey, we're in the playoff, or is it like maybe should I be buying stock in people who sell individual bricks in Tuscaloosa?
First off, I've gotten more brick jokes and stuff like that over the last really low key since they lost to Oklahoma.
You know that they aren't jokes. They're like they're people who have the ability to recall history and recognize patterns.
Yes,
that's what it is.
And that's the thing about the thing that I've learned in this job, helping cover Alabama, helping cover the SEC and Auburn. All it comes with it is patterns. Is the fact that the Auburn job is the Auburn job.
Yes.
The Alabama job, and I've said this because, covering various, traditional programs and all that, you don't want to be the guy after the guy.
No.
You want to be the guy that's like down the road. You want to be the guy like 3 guys away.
The Alabama job, the way I describe it is either you get a statue or you get run out of town. There's no in between.
Yep.
There's no in between.
And to be fair, one of these guys has got a statue. Gene Stallings got a statue. And
then get run out of town.
Like,
I didn't say it was either or. It can be both.
Yeah.
However, it will be one of those two outcomes.
Like, Gene Stallings won a national title, and they wanted him out
so badly.
I just
like to the point where right now, like if the SC job comes open, Kalen, I would leave.
look,
Why stay for what?
I, Jim Cohen, who was the AD at USC, was
Is
the
his
AD at
boy.
Washington.
Yep. Hired him
Loves
first time.
Kalen. Like, is like that's her guy. And the Penn State stuff wasn't real.
No.
Like, that was never
That was Penn
a
State
thing.
lying about who they thought they were.
That was just a swing and a miss for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Which honestly was kind of funny because it's like, you have the short list and then it's like, this guy signs an extension. This guy signs an extension. One coach says
Nebraska doubles down on Matt Rule. Mistakes are made. Anyway,
I'm not saying that mistakes are made, but Dylan Raiola's injury doesn't help one bit. And then you fire his uncle. Yeah, no. Things are going great there. No, it's like, look, as a native Kansan and as a child of the Big 12 and the Big 8, seeing Nebraska suffer, like, hook that up, baby.
It's gotta feel great, baby.
Oh, God, it's so good. I used to hate Nebraska because I thought they were all on steroids, and people were like, oh, no, that's mean. No, you look at that training program. I was right. Hey, not wrong, just early.
Like, yeah, it's just we got eyes. We gotta lie.
Oh yeah.
What is the local fervor about their playoff chances of Alabama going forward? And I think that I know you have to be judicious when you talk about Alabama and Auburn, both those jobs. I'll say about that what I say about Georgia and Georgia Tech. There was a year once when Georgia Tech went 3-7, and everyone's like, "Oh," I said, "You realize that if Georgia went 3-7, they'd fire the governor." Like, you don't understand, like, these things are not the same. And that's how I feel about Auburn, Alabama. I feel like there's a very, very similar discrepancy in popular opinion about them. But do the people on the ground feel like, hey, we've got a shot? Or is it like, oh, we're in the playoff now, we can't fire Kalen?
It is, for me, from my point of view, it is, okay, we get Oklahoma at home, or we get Oklahoma again. We get Oklahoma, and that was a very winnable game. That was just an old school mid-2000s Oklahoma win, where the offense is awful, but the defense is god tier. So
shout out Brent Venables.
I mean, look, that was again.
He lives his raps.
Look, as soon as they had the first, turnover in the game in Tuscaloosa, I was in my head. I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this is like an 04-05 Oklahoma game where they will tease the home crowd into thinking they might, get beat, and then they find a way to win at the end." Like I was like, "Oh, I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
I have seen Brent's movies." That offense is so. I think that the thing that Alabama fans are feeling, I guess, somewhat positive about is that offense cannot beat us. Like, Georgia's offense could do damage and has done damage. Oklahoma's offense is not good.
Yeah.
And I think Alabama people feel like, okay, we could be Cinderella here. We could find a way to sneak through.
The biggest loser in all this playoff talk?
Yes.
It's me. Because really? I can't even rub it in Bama fans' faces. They're already on to the next thing. Like, I want you to stew in losing to Georgia. I want you to feel this. I wish this is why expanding the playoff, we'll talk about in a second. This should have ruined your season. This should have ended some shit for you. This should have caused catastrophic things to befall you and your fan base.
Yes.
Instead, it's like, well, on Oklahoma, fuck that. Don't you NFL my college football. Don't you dare. This is a hater's medium. And you've cut down on the number of things and ways to express that hate. You misunderstand why we're here. People are like, oh, the playoff ratings are up. Not by people who like college football. They're up for people who don't know things about college football but like the word playoffs. College football fans, the second Georgia's out, you know what I'm not watching anymore? College football.
Not watching it.
It's a wrap for me.
Nope.
I was at the national title game last year. I was there.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Well,
Um,
I was there, but I was also like, I was like being a surgeon. I was like,
ooh,
oh, and I remember there was like three things you guys did in the first quarter. I was like, oh, you're gonna lose this game. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's those are pretty good tells. Where this game is probably over already.
Oh, I stopped watching at halftime. I was like, oh, seen this movie before.
Yeah,
Saw this
that
in
was.
South Beach. I'm good. I'm not going to tell you what I did during the
No,
Rose Bowl in 2021, but um, I just remember in 2021, I just saw the hurdle in like the first quarter, and I was like, you know what? Turning this one off. Nope, I'm good. Um, yeah, it's weird because had they, of course, Alabama loses, but I'm like,
right.
okay, if it's close, they're still going to be in.
Mhm.
But the way it went down, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way.
It was very like, and I joke about this, but like Georgia's in their late 2009, 2010 Bama era where the
Yeah.
quarterback's kind of meh, but everyone else is a goddamn world beater. And
Yeah.
so, like, and they're applying the old school, like, I say shaping defense, but Kirby was coordinating it as well. It
Yeah.
was the cool, your offense is very pretty. What if I choke you? Like, what if I
Yeah.
put my hands on your throat and don't let you breathe for four quarters? Like, what if that happens? Oh, you got all these cute plays? Kalen, what if you can't get a goddamn first down? Like, what then? What then? And there's no plan B. And that's the thing is that when you employ the suffocation defense, it's really hard to think clearly when your brain is not getting oxygen. And that's what he does. Like, there's a thing I joke with my friends about emotional blitzing. Like if
Yeah.
you get certain coordinators right there, you I can make this man emotionally blitz me and beat
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
him. And for Caitlin, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's oh, you're stopping the thing I want to do. Well, I'm going to do it even harder. And it's like
Yes.
no,
Oh,
it's
God. It's
Caitlin.
like,
I need
no,
you
no, no, no,
to
no. Don't
understand that
know.
doubling down is going to get you hit twice as hard. And he hasn't learned that yet. And in his support, it worked the first time against Georgia because the first half of that game, he called a very conservative game. In the second half, he was like, fuck it, and called all the fun plays.
The,
And I was like,
the fourth, or was it the third or the fourth down to seal the game?
when I looked around, like, am I losing my mind? Like, did someone else start calling the plays? Like, what's happening right now?
He called, so I just remember the play that sealed it for him. I think it was that kind of like on that little out route,
Yeah.
and there was the
Great.
linebacker, not the
For the
linebacker, the
record,
running back leaked
fantastic
out,
play call.
and I'm just like,
Fantastic play call.
oh, I was like, and that was, and the calmness of which he calls it is just like, oh no, like God forbid. But I want to say one thing about Georgia that had me thinking, oh, they might win the SEC, and that was against Tech the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the final quarter, and they're showing Kirby on the sideline. The team is kind of going through the motions, and I'm not saying that it was like a clean, like it wasn't the cleanest way to finish a game,
Right.
but it was obviously a teachable way to finish the game. And I see, Kirby's walking off the field, he's doing the interview, and he just had this demeanor of, oh hell yeah, we didn't
I get
finish that game strong. Oh,
I get
like
to yell at him for a
he
week.
was so excited, and he was just like he was like, I want to tell Brent Pry, hell yeah, dude, like you fired my ass up, and I'm just over here like,
It's
yeah, Kirby's gonna have a ball
but
this
what you
week.
got to
We know
remember is that
this.
for Tech and for Bam and for the title game, they didn't have their starting center. Drew Bobo didn't play either
Yeah.
game, and so like this 3 week off is going to be huge for them. I want to go on record before I go over to IU Ohio State because fuck Ohio State. Buster Faulkner is going to Florida to be their OC, and I am furious about it.
Yeah, you
I
got
am
to see
so
that.
nervous.
Like, not
I'm
only do you have to see that every year again, you see it earlier.
earlier and with better talent.
Yeah,
Just, I mean, objectively, better kids are going to be at Florida than are at Tech, and they're going to run
there's a higher level of octane that he's gonna get in
and a
Gainesville.
level of buy-in from these desperate swamp people. Like, they've been kicked in the teeth by Georgia. I believe it's 8 years in a row now.
And they are tired of it. And
they,
John Summerall, who was a ball coach,
I can't believe they hired him. What a silly thing happened.
He's not that bad.
It just doesn't fit. Like, you guys wanted a guy. They wanted a guy. They wanted a fun guy.
They wanted Lane Kiffin.
But if you can't have Lane, you don't settle for the ball coach. You'll get the next fun guy. I don't know. I feel like that's going to be an interesting fit there. But let's talk about Indiana, which until this September, I believe it was the losingest program in NCAA history.
Big Ten champions, dude.
Not just Big Ten champions. They've lost 2 games since Cignetti got there, and those were both last year. Last year, 2024, Indiana was a great story that made the playoff.
Yeah. The
2025 version of that team would beat the dog shit out of 2024 Indiana.
So I like to call this like the sack of hammers mindset.
It's the same when it happens in Athens.
They go to the playoff last year against Notre Dame, and it was clear. And it feels like, like a team that's like maybe a 6 or 7 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they go, to a regional final, and they just can't get over the hump. Like, clearly there is a better team. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, they might be back next year. They might be contending next year. And then the game I was telling somebody this today, the game that I knew Indiana wasn't messing around was the Illinois game. That's when they brought the sack of hammers, and they were like, hey, I have this sack of hammers in my bag here. I'm just going to throw them at you for 60 minutes.
You stumbled across 2 things that I love about this whole story. One, I want everyone to notice that Illinois, this is called the Big Ten Ponzi scheme, where you overrank everyone, so all your wins are more impressive.
Yeah.
Illinois, I believe, was a top 7 team at the time.
Yeah, they were like, they were either like on the lower half of the top 10 or fringe top 10. Like, this was
either way. Yeah. They were in a place they never should have been. In Indiana, for some reason, Coach Cignetti found that offensive and decided to remind everyone that these rankings are silly.
To be fair, he's a Midwestern dad. He finds everything offensive.
You know what he is? I rewatched that. Google me. That's a wrestling coach. That's a high school ass wrestling coach who's won a bunch of state titles. Like, I wrestled for that guy. I know that guy. I was like, coach? That's weird.
Who doesn't change his expression at the most intense moments of a match. He's just sitting there in his little fold out chair, just going.
The look on his face during JV pre-meet matches is the same one he has on his face in the state finals. It's the same face. Because guess what we do? We win here. You're supposed to, and don't celebrate.
And God forbid if you lose. Or no, it's okay if you lose. If you get embarrassed.
There it is.
I will be mad.
I'll be furious.
God, I love Curt Cignetti.
He's the best. So Curt Cignetti, in case you were living under a rock, decided I'm going to go to Indianapolis and I'm going to fight Ohio State, who have played. And I want to make this very clear. Goddamn, no one this year.
And we talk about other schools who haven't played anybody.
Oh, we'll get to them.
Yeah.
But I think I'm an avid Fullcast listener. My favorite bit this year has been the fact that the Big Ten is just different variations on Purdue.
Yeah.
Just different Purdue's. And I was like, that's all they've done all season was feast on Purdue's, except for the fact that Indiana beat Oregon.
Yes.
And that for me was the moment where, because there's one coach I fear ever entering the SEC, and it's Dan Lanning. I don't want Dan Lanning.
Really?
Dan Lanning terrifies me.
I don't feel that. Cool. That's interesting because I feel like Dan Lanning is heel IC champ. Like,
you know who Dan Lanning is?
Yeah.
Dan Lanning is the man who says, I'll stay here as long as Phil Knight keeps the money flowing. The second the old man kicks the bucket and Nike's like, we don't have to do this. He's out of there. And he's going to, like, every time there's a open, I'm like, not Dan Lanning. Not. Because that man, he was crazy when this Georgia's DC.
I can only imagine.
It was him and, what's the man? Oh, I blank on his name every time, but I want him to come back and coach my team. The offensive coordinator, Todd Monken.
Oh,
Todd Monken,
God.
Where my ultimate goal is for Todd Monken, is for the Ravens to fire everyone so Todd can come home and get rid of Mike Bobo.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I need Todd back real bad.
Whew.
But it was Todd. Yeah, it was Todd Monken and Dan Lanning. Do you remember the first game Dan Lanning coached as the Oregon head coach?
Oh God.
He played Georgia in the dome to
Oh,
kick off
that's
the season
right.
and got boat raced.
Yes. Yeah.
Bo Nix, for the record, that was Bo Nix, by the way. I want everyone to remember that. That was Bo Nix. Um, and since then, he has been administering like some of the realest hitting teams that I've seen this century. The fact that Indiana, that Signetti went in there and beat him, guys, and it's not like people like, is it the NIL? These are JMU kids.
Yeah.
He just grabbed a bunch of guys and like, hey, y'all want to do something real fun? Watch this. Do everything I tell you.
It's like, hey, do you want to stay in Virginia? No, where are we going? We're going to go to Bloomington.
Don't ask that. Don't ask the question. Just, do you want to leave?
Yeah, sure. And he just says, you know what? Like a Midwestern dad, hey, look, we're just going to stop here. Have you ever heard that John Mulaney bit where his dad goes to the McDonald's and like all the kids are happy that he's going to the McDonald's and he just gets one black coffee?
Yes.
That is Kurt Signetti. He is one black coffee
said.
Football right there. Just look, this is what we're going to do. Coach, this is what we're going to do. And it works. Also, Fernando Mendoza. Yeah. I love
He's going to get someone fired next year.
Oh, dude.
Someone's going to draft him. That's what I said when I was like, JJ McCarthy's going to get some entire front office fired.
Fernando Mendoza, congratulations. You're a Cleveland Brown.
Oh, my God. That's going to give us another year at Shador.
Yep.
But I will say this. I was hoping for this last week. I was hoping to do this podcast last week. But a dream delayed is not a dream denied. Happy fuck Ohio State Day to everyone who celebrates.
Also, do you love how Ryan Day beats Michigan and then finds a sliver of a reason for Ohio State fans to hate him again?
No. I'm done losing the game. I shouldn't lose for the reasons I shouldn't lose it.
I'm going to lose another one.
Different ones. Head on a swivel, kids. You never know what game we'll lose, but it's going to be one of them, and you're going to be furious.
Oh, it's beautiful. What a guy.
Look, I'm sure they're all nice enough people, but honestly, fuck them. And now I want to get to the biggest matter of the weekend. A team that didn't even play. And I want to make something very clear before my next statements.
Okay.
I'm anti-playoff. Always have been.
Really?
Anti-playoff.
Okay.
When we had the 4-teamers, very rarely did we ever get, of the 3 games, 2 were good. There was always one stinker. We had 1 year we had 3 good games. Which tells me that when we talk about high-level college football, there's very rarely 3 good teams, let alone 4. So we expanded because we're not looking for actual elite or success. We're looking for opportunity, which really translates into money for administrators. So we expand to 8. Well, now we've been arguing about the 9th and 10th best teams in the nation. Can I tell you something that happened to me once?
Sure.
Georgia was outside the top 4. Florida State got left out. Everyone said how sad it was. Georgia said, you know what? Whoever you want us to play, we'll play. We didn't win enough games. We'll be back next year. We did a lot of great things this season. This is not a zero-sum game. Florida State said, we've been wronged. We want Ron DeSantis to file a lawsuit. Everyone feel bad for us. And you know what happened since that moment? Georgia absolutely annihilated that program, ruined the program, because when you display the lack of moral character, when you say, hey, we're victims here, as opposed to saying, hey, we can't control outcomes, we can only control our input, and our input says play more football.
Yep.
Our input says, hey, what do we do here? We play football. Because for me, this is bigger than we can't be in the playoffs, so we're not going to play.
Sure.
It's saying to all the seniors on that team, your efforts thus far have been for naught. Your last game was your last game. Sorry you didn't realize it.
Right.
It's saying, hey, those 15 practices where we can get better, we're going to pass on those. Hey, the opportunity to shore up things, to make sure that we've built a culture that will withstand whatever comes next.
Mm-hmm.
No, we abdicate that. And now you look at Florida State, because the way they built their 1 year of excellence was on sand. They didn't build with any sort of high school recruiting. They didn't build any sort of culture. They said, hey, you do this, you'll be rewarded.
Yep.
The promise of work is not a reward. One day, my son is asleep 2 doors that way. One of the lessons I am excited to teach him is that you do not get what you deserve in this world. You get what you get. And you got to make do with it. Because the day you can say, hey, man, that's unfair. Why is this person flourishing and I'm not? The day you can stop doing that, the day you will find some sense of inner peace and contentment and like a true drive of who you are.
Absolutely.
So for your school,
oh boy, it's 45 minutes in and we've reached the moment. Yeah, all right.
And I want to say this out loud to you because I know you know this too.
Yeah,
he was in New York last week.
Oh yeah.
The Giants thing is real.
It's interesting.
For those who don't know, there are rumors. We're not starting them. We're just repeating them. That Marcus Freeman is on a short list for the Giants. We know for a fact he was shortlisted for the Bears last year, except he kept winning and would not, to his credit, would not distract from his team to go interview for that job. But I have to, at least knowing these things, knowing these facts, knowing this pattern of behavior, to say we're not going to a bowl game and we're going to forego 15 practices makes me wonder, what's the real plan for Marcus Freeman?
He's been very quiet in this. And I think it's more so, and we can get, if we want to get into, if we want to get into it, I feel like it's more of a Pete Bavacqua ACC issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, when you're old enough and you're around the adults and you get to sit at the adult table, and whether it be husband and a wife or aunt and an uncle or whoever, and you discover people have beef, and you're like, wait a minute, how come they don't associate all that much? And then something comes up, and it triggers it.
Yeah,
that was the moment, and I think for the last week,
for me, because I felt like the ACC, and this is outside looking in, maybe you know more than I do. I don't feel like the ACC wronged Notre Dame in any way in these proceedings.
I don't think the ACC did it as a conference. I don't think the ACC did that. I think and I hate using this term, but like the media apparatus that the ACC has, which is ESPN, obviously,
mm-hmm.
I think they were pushing it more.
Okay.
Which
and I hear what you're saying. I hear that grievance from the Notre Dame side. Counterpoint, and this is again me. I have no dog in this hunt.
Sure.
Arguing about Miami, Notre Dame, Alabama for me was like, wow, who's gonna win a game and then get boat raced by Indiana? Like, I don't like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So like, again, I'm anti-playoff. Like, this is all stupid to me.
Right.
For me, it was like, well, if even having the debate, to get to the point of the debate, to say that the Bama loss didn't affect them, then you're like, okay, head-to-head has to matter. Like, my thing is, if you're going to say that the ACC apparatus did not work for Notre Dame, would the apparatus's first priority be member schools?
Oh, absolutely.
And so, like, them taking, and the thing is, I did notice them going to bat for Miami.
It was funny. They did it like, so Greg McElroy, after the ACC championship game, which low key, I just want to shout out the ACC, by the way. Y'all had Duke and Virginia out there getting cardio for what? For what? But after the game, Duke is, on the podium and all of that. And Sean McDonough, I think, had said, hey, so what does this do for, the ACC? Will they get somebody in? And he, like, Greg McElroy just went on this, like, yeah, Miami's going to get in over Notre Dame. And it was like, wait a minute. We're talking about the ACC champion, dude. Like,
It felt like
he
someone
just
had, it felt like Order 66 for a Star Wars reference. It felt like someone had flipped the switch and everyone was on board. And not just
yeah,
Jimmy Sexton clients, like everyone. It felt like it was, and again, don't give a shit personally.
sure,
I do think if you came down to Miami Notre Dame, it had to be Miami because they played the game. I thought
right,
like that's my stance.
yeah,
I if you wanted to take Bama out, no skin off my teeth. We just beat the motherfuckers. I don't care. Um, so like I don't care either way. But for me, it was like, well, this apparatus, to the extent that it does work for both of you, is going to work for Miami first,
right.
being a full member program, and it feels like you said, that this was a simmering tension that feels like, you tell me if I'm wrong, the Notre Dame side used as a, well, this is going to change our relationship forever. Like it felt like, and you didn't clean up, you didn't sweep the crumbs from under the toaster. That's why we're getting a divorce. Like, wait a second, like, the fuck happened here? Like, this
Well,
escalated quickly.
yeah, it was, and I say this as somebody who has just kind of watched the big everybody saying, "Oh, how come Notre Dame just can't become a member of the ACC?" And I'm just like, guys, the ACC is the one who wanted to set up this arrangement.
Yeah,
Like,
it was their
it's
idea.
it, and if the ACC wanted to make them a member, they had two chances when it was first established and 2020. They could have said, "Hey, we appreciate you participating, during the pandemic, but we want to make you a full-time member." They've had their opportunities. I'm sorry.
They should have put a ring on them.
Notre Dame is not going to join a conference unless they absolutely have to. And people are like, "Oh, is this going to be the moment?" We've been waiting for that moment to come for I'm 36 years old. I've been a Notre Dame fan since I
Well,
was
that hurt me.
4 years old. I've been hearing they need to join a
Wait,
conference
time
since
out. So
then.
this
Oh
is a
shoot.
this is a better question.
Yeah.
I had a whole other series of questions to ask.
Oh shoot.
Now I've distracted. How'd this happen to you? How are you?
So
How are you one of these people? We've never seen him be good.
okay, first off, hey, that Sugar Bowl trophy is still shiny.
That's
Um
before either one of us were alive.
look, it's okay. So game of the century, Florida State, Notre Dame. That was like the first game that I watched where I
Okay,
knew, oh, something important is happening.
that's fair.
And I'm like, okay, because Charlie Ward, my dad loves Charlie Ward. And I'm just watching it and I'm like, oh, whoever wins, that's going to be my favorite team. Notre Dame wins, favorite team. What happens the next week? They lose to Boston College. I'm still mad at Tom Coughlin, by
You
the
should
way.
be. You should
Still,
be.
can I just say this? And this is a platform that I feel like I can speak freely, and I
Of course,
appreciate
yeah,
you.
yes.
Fuck Glenn Foley. Um, you know, just he knows what he did. So been a Notre Dame fan, been through the ups and the downs. So like when Lou Holtz retired in I want to say 96, they didn't go to a bowl game. They declined, and it was just like, oh, okay. So when they declined it this year, I get why, but I'm
I
also
don't.
just like, huh?
I don't.
Well, for me, I think that Bavak, well, again, this is a
This is a
a
posturing move against the SEC, which is
this is
fine.
an ACC slash
You're turning down $4
ESPN.
million.
Yeah, but this is also
Okay.
like an ACC slash ESPN beef that I feel like, again, it bubbled to the surface. We're sitting at the table at Thanksgiving and somebody said the wrong thing and Pete went off. So that's my
Yeah.
feeling.
Okay.
Frankly, I wouldn't have declined it, but I also get why they did it because it
Because
was just
they
like,
need to find a new coach because he's leaving.
okay, I mean, dude, don't say that. Don't say that.
Hold on, you're the one. I was just connecting the thought that you presented. The
Oh yeah,
last
no,
time
for
they
sure.
turned it down is because they had a change in coach.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay. We're now at year 2 of NFL rumors around your guy.
to be fair, the rumor, like, I knew that it's funny. I knew that Brian Kelly wasn't shit when, and this is as Notre Dame head coach.
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't shit when 2 or 3 days after they lose to Alabama, he is interviewing, ironically enough, for the Giants job. And he had talked to, I want to say that it was Giants and it was Cleveland. And basically, he wanted team control. He wanted and the Giants and the Browns were like, no, what are you talking about? Like, you were not getting team control. Marcus Freeman as the Giants head coach would be weird.
I will say this. You know when I knew Brian Kelly wasn't shit?
When?
The scissor lift.
Ooh. Yeah.
My first inkling. My second one was, hey, I'm leaving Indiana to go to Baton Rouge. Anyone y'all want to come with me? And zero assistance with him. That was my second inkling. Like, this isn't a great person.
Well, so it's funny you say that because the moment he took the LSU job, my first thought was, oh, this is going to end up in flames. Like immediately, because he looked at, Brian Kelly, he's one of those people you can't give credit for being smart because he'll just remind you how smart he is.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Ed Orgeron, he saw Les Miles win national titles there, and he was like, if those two idiots can do it, certainly my big brain can.
Which, in his defense, not an unreasonable thought to have.
Oh, absolutely. Like, look, I get it. Like, hey, he gained positive yards on that thought.
Yes.
But you're also just like, that's great to say. But again, I've seen his movies.
Yeah.
I've seen him throw the ball 27 times in a monsoon at NC State.
It's okay for someone to think that. It's probably not okay for him to think that.
That part. Yeah. By the way, he finally won his first opening game of the year at LSU. Yay!
Whew. So let's just kind of, I guess. So for the playoff, there's 12 teams, but for me, there's 3 teams that can win it.
Yes.
Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. How do you feel the 12? Do you feel like, who do you feel has a legitimate shot?
I would say 4 teams.
Who you got?
I think top 4 seeds. I think Texas Tech is the type of team that if I'm Oregon, I don't want to see.
Correct.
Because Texas Tech for Oregon is like the Iowa game where they were, it was rainy, it was cold, it was ugly. And that's a type of like Tech, they're okay, but the problem with Tech is they're a pest and they hit you.
They don't
hard.
go away, they hit so
yes. Hard. Oh my God. Like everybody, like BYU, bless their heart. Like Kalani Sitake, I love the guy, but him saying, "Oh yeah, let's see how we would do against them a third time." No, you don't, dude.
No, you don't. No,
no. They shoved you in a locker.
We've all seen enough.
Twice.
You're good.
Yeah. Hey, it's like, hey, you go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. You're safe. Okay.
Enjoy it. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be a good time. Yeah, I really like how the top 4 seeds set up. I will say, if Alabama gets to the Rose Bowl, and I'm not saying this
is the first time your job is seeped into this podcast.
Well, and I'm not trying to, but that's a matchup if I'm Indiana, because I think Alabama's defense presents
the same problem with Georgia. You got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's the thing is, like, I've seen them play this game this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to get healthier. I know you're going to, let's say they sneak past Oklahoma.
Sure.
That's not a game you want to play. Rose Bowl, Indiana, no.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's the only reason I was like, because I do wonder about the week, the time off for some teams. Yeah. I think Ohio State's going to be fine. I think Tech might. I think Ohio State and Georgia will be okay. I worry about Tech, and I worry about Indiana.
And let's be clear: the reflection on worry is not the teams themselves. It's the fact that your infrastructure has never done this before.
Yes.
And with Georgia and Ohio State, there's institutional knowledge, not just from last year, but from previous playoff trips on how to
There's
do this
data
thing.
sets. There's
Yeah,
massive sets of data that you can rely
these
on.
things are logistical nightmares. So let's be honest about that
Oh,
too.
for sure. For sure. These things are not like,
I,
yay,
I
bowl
do want
time.
to
No,
I do
it's
want to say
terrible.
this about the bracket:
Yeah.
the prospect of playing a Pete Golding led Ole Miss team
Oh
in
God.
the second round. When let's just say you let the Ole Miss kids go to New Orleans a couple days early, and they have no real head coach. Their real head coach is Pete Golding. I keep forgetting he was able to extort his way into being the permanent head coach, and not just the interim. We'll all go with Lane unless I'm head coach. We'll go right now.
Oh God. I look,
You
I
know what no
don't
one's
know
ever.
how
You know what no one's
I
ever.
honestly don't know how I feel about Ole Miss.
You know
Can
what.
I
You know what no one's ever said.
what?
We're thinking about hiring that up and comer Pete Golding.
Well, I mean, I'm just like I'm generally confused. I'm not saying I'm confused about Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is Ole Miss reminds me of, and this is a bygone era where a third place or fourth place team in a conference, this is like the BCS era, where
Mm-hmm.
they're like, they need to fill a bowl slot. So, like, they will go to the Sugar Bowl against some random Big East team. And you're watching the Rose Bowl or whatever. And after that, it's like, it's Texas A&M, Ohio State. And you're just like, wait, how did one of them get there? That's what Ole Miss reminds me of in the playoff. Like, they're just like, wait, how did they get there again? Like, they were a good hang at the top half of the SEC for the entire year, and we're just
Mm-hmm.
like, you're cool. Let's go to a bowl game. It just so happens that their head coach decided that he wanted to go to LSU, but then wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Good luck with that, LSU, by the way.
It's the most bitch you knew I was a snake moment of college football in the last 20 or 30 years. It's almost as dumb as when Tennessee hired him. Like, it
Oh
just feels
God.
like the most like Al Davis brought out an overhead projector and explained why you shouldn't hire him, Tennessee, and you didn't listen to the old crazy man. Maybe you should have listened to everyone else who said, "Hey man, this isn't a good dude. He doesn't actually like you." I the predictability and the pattern recognition of college football is truly beautiful. Like you'll remember this, and I'm gonna let you out here on this one,
Yeah.
but no one remembers probably me, you, and like his family. Remember when George O'Leary was your head coach for 8 days?
Oh boy. Jeez. Oh man,
Like,
that was
for those who don't know or remember, there was an 8 day period where George O'Leary stopped being the head coach at Georgia Tech to take the Notre Dame job. Everyone thought it was great. Then they started checking his resume after he'd been hired. And I believe he lied a lot
yeah, yeah,
about things that you can't lie about.
yeah. And then they hired Tyrone Willingham, which look, that was the first time I had seen black people get excited about Notre Dame. He went 8-0, lost to Boston College, and then it was like, this is not great. You know, there's another guy, if I feel like I can say this. I like to call him Rocky Mountain Willingham. Deion Sanders. How's that going, bud?
I was honestly about to say, like, so that on some timeline, the domino of George O'Leary lies on his resume results in Deion Sanders and Older.
I
This is
mean,
all one domino. I'll be damned.
it's like, hey, but look. I mean, what like real talk though. This playoff is going to be very fascinating because I think last year we could have had an 18 playoff. This year, you could have made an argument for 16. I know you're anti-playoff, so am I, and I think they're going to expand it
They're going to because there's
eventually.
money.
And the problem is we need to fix what's wrong with the actual playoff before we even think about it's like a house.
The problem is you've expanded these conferences to being too
Yep.
big, so there's no consistent data set to compare these teams. You've created a situation where we're celebrating mediocrity as opposed to elevating eliteness and greatness, which is what the sport used to be about.
And it should be hard to me. It should be hard to get in the playoff.
This should be a regional sport, and they've tried to nationalize, and in doing so, they've proven why it should be regional.
Yes.
And the SEC, like I loved Kirby going in last week. Winning the SEC should matter. This used to be the only thing he cared about. This should matter. And maybe I'm old, maybe I'm boring, maybe I am stuck in my ways.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, bro.
When you started covering this, when I started playing this, I enjoyed college football more.
Yes.
There was more to like about this sport.
Yes.
And yes, I'm one of the few fan bases who can say my life has been improved by the nationalization of college football. Eat shit, go Dogs. However, by and large, go talk to most football fans. Go talk to a Florida State fan. Go talk to a Florida fan. Go talk to an Auburn fan. Go talk to a Tennessee fan. Are you happier with your program than you were 20 years ago? Go ask a Michigan fan. Go ask a Michigan State fan.
Yeah.
Don't ask an Indiana fan.
Yeah.
Go ask a USC fan. Go ask a UCLA fan. Was your school, the experience around the team that you purport to give a shit about, was it a better experience before we said, hey, we're all playing for this one thing? No, because it used to be a level set.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I really hope we can win the SEC West.
Yeah, well, and this is why part of me understands why Notre Dame decided to pull out, which is ironic. I know the jokes are there.
I didn't say anything.
I know, but I get it because you have marketed this sport to it is playoff or bust, playoff or bust. And for weeks, if you're telling somebody, oh, you're in good position to do it, you're in good position to do it, and then you pull the rug out from under them. And this is where I worry when we go to 16, you may have that happen more often. It won't be every year, but you're going to tell somebody.
And I can't stress enough when we're talking about the 10th best team in the country.
Thank you.
I don't give a shit.
I
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If one fan base is mad, so boo fucking who?
Yep.
Go. Oh, we're a powerful fan base. Prove it. Win some shit.
Yeah.
So like, you want to say you're in the playoff? Don't lose to Miami and don't lose to fucking A&M.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I would love for them to be in the playoff. I would love for them to be in the playoff. I think that they have a shot at reaching another national title game.
Disagree.
That's fair.
But that's the thing. Like, if you don't get in, what you do is you say, all right, cool, where am I going? Pop-Tart, cool. And then you beat the dog shit out of someone and say, you should have let us in. I wouldn't have to hurt these boys this bad if you just let me in, I wouldn't be beating their heads in like this. Like,
you sacked Bear Bachmeier 6 times and you just look at the camera every time. Like it's WCW circa 1996.
Hit some diamond cutters. Like give me some full-on, like, heel shit. Start throwing on NWO shirts. Like,
you can't be Drake. You can't play the Drake role in a beef ever. You can never play the Drake role. You can't go to the teacher and say, they're being mean to me. Fight back. And that was my thing last week.
Yeah.
When everybody's on ESPN saying this, Marcus Freeman, he's on the Today Show giving the cast of Today motivational speeches. And I'm like, oh boy, this ain't going to
end well. Be in New York? That's so weird.
You know what? I've had a blast on this show, sir.
Hey, man,
don't do. Here's the thing. Don't do this to me. Marcus Freeman might ruin my Christmas now, and it's all your fault.
It's my fault. Y'all shouldn't trust a man look that good. That's how all y'all, man. He's too good looking.
How dare he, dog? I got so many like hairline jokes yesterday. I was just like, oh no, oh boy. So somebody said that his hairline is gonna if they quit, his hairline's gonna quit. I was like, damn it.
Hey, man, tell everyone where they can find everything that you produce out there in the world. Thank you.
Just follow me at Aham on Blue Sky. I'm generally on there all the time. I'm not in the bad place anymore. Follow al.com. We've got a lot of good stuff coming. I have a great staff, and they work their butts off. So yeah, just keep following my work, and just keep it locked in.
Thanks for coming on, man. I'm going to have you on again. Once again, brought to you by the good folks at the MTR Network, brought to you by DanielPaulMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Check out my other podcasting adventure, Life, Love, and Real Estate. New episode dropping tomorrow. If you're listening to this now on a Tuesday, that means you're a week away from me doing 5 minutes of stand-up at the Punchline here in Atlanta on December 16th. Make sure you go to the links in my social bios to make sure you can get some tickets. That was your show. We'll be back on Friday with another Felder Friday. There is no outro. See you guys later this week.